Hi everyone, I am Aishman. I am from India and I am a second year medicine student in the University of Campania, Luigi, Benvicli. And today I am going to make a video about the science portion of the Imat examination. Okay, in this video we will cover all the chapters, all the number of questions, and all the patterns which need to use, and also the books of the biology which we are going to use in the preparation of the examination. Okay, so first of all, for the IMET examination, you sit in the IMET examination hall to do the exam. But what's the motive of the exam? The motive of the exam is to get your admission in a medicine or in a dentistry college in Italy. Okay, in the IMET examination, there are total 60 questions and each question costs 1.5 marks. Also, there's a negative marking which costs zero point 0.4 marks each for each wrong question you attempt. The total score of the examination is 90 marks, right? And the question pattern will be: in biology you will get 23 questions in total, in chemistry there will be 15 questions in total, and in physics and maths they collectively cost you 13 questions, and after that there will be general knowledge and logical questions which will be total 9. In this video we will be specifically talking about biology portion, and then chemistry portion, and then physics portion. Okay, so there's one thing which I want to tell you about IMET, and it is a very important thing about the IMET examination. So I don't know if you have prepared for the exams or not, for the competitive exam specifically, because in competitive exam there are two different kind of exam. One being the having lots of knowledge, like these are the examination which requires you to have vast plus deep knowledge about the topics you are going to face in the exam. And there are second type of examination which requires you to have a limited knowledge, but you need to have what you need to have the clarification of all the knowledge you have. Okay, you need to know that how you can apply that knowledge, how you can use that knowledge into different condition. Okay, so in case of IMET, you don't need to have too much of knowledge. What you do need to have, you need to be clarified about what knowledge you have. Okay, you need to have that how you can apply that knowledge in a specific condition, in a different condition. Okay, like I might do not care about the depth of knowledge you have. It requires clarification of all the topics you have studied. It requires you to deeply apply it requires you to apply the knowledge in particular condition as per the question, and you should know that how you can use the concept which you have learned in that specific topic. Okay, so first I'm going to talk about the biology portion of the science, and this video is all going to be about science portion. There will be nothing else except science. Okay, so here for the biology first. So in biology we will be studying only the important topics. There will be not too much vastness in the chapters and in the topics. The first thing we will be studying about the biomolecules found in a living being, and how the metabolic processes are working, and what's the molecular structure of different organs, different organelles of the cell. Okay, then we will be studying about the cell and its structure, different kind of cell like eukaryotic and like prokaryotic, and what's the difference between them, what's the similarities between them. Okay, and then we will be studying about the cell cycle and its division. Here we will study about how a cell divides, different stages of cell division, and what's the process of all those cell division stages. Okay, after that we will be studying about cell organelles, that what organelles are in the cell and what's their function. Okay, what's their properties. After that, we will be studying out energy processes, that how a cell makes energy inside it, how a cell makes energy, how it makes ATP, right? And different types of processes in it. Sure. Then we will be studying about the genetics, and genetics is one of the most important. Okay, it is one of the most important topic of the biology, right? Especially for the IMET. In 2025 IMET examination, there will a lot of questions from the energy processes and from the human organ functioning. But earlier than that, like in 2024, there were a lot of questions from the genetics. Okay, so the energy processes, genetics portion, and human organ functioning. I mean, for IMET, I would say all these topics, all of them are very very important. Okay, after that, if I suggest you, so first of all, these are all the topics like genetics, then the biotechnology, in which you use the molecular biology in like fixing things and adding or removing some sort of states from a living being. Okay, and in the biotechnology, you will study about all of those processes and their principles and their applications. Okay, and then here comes the human organ functioning. There will be like a lot of things like digestive system, blood circulation, like breathing, and like excretion, locomotion, neural control, and coordination, and chemical control, right? And after that, I'm going to suggest you the books. So for the biomolecules and the cell stuff, like for this portion, sorry, for this portion, you can use two books, which are being the Cambridge A level, or you can use the Pearson Biology. Both of them are very good books. I have read them by myself, and I would suggest you to I would suggest you to bring any one of these and just keep studying. Okay, and if you still wants to get a bit more vastness about them, then buy both of them, but specifically focus on one of them, but use another for minor readings and to get a bit more knowledge if possible, right? And I would suggest you NCERT biology of Indian 12th standard, or a Kalpan MCAT book for human anatomy, which will be helpful for you to study about human organ functioning. Okay, now comes the chemistry portion. So after biology, chemistry is the most important subject for the IMET. Why? Because it has 15 questions in it, right? And in chemistry, the major portion will be coming from the physical chemistry, and then there will be inorganic and organic. Okay, for the physical chemistry, you will be studying of the basic concept of the chemistry. In there will be and moles and like different properties which depends upon moles. Okay, which depends upon moles, and like different sorts of what um, unit systems and measurement systems like mole per volume and mass by volume, mass by mass percentage, right? Like this. And then there will be the ideal gas laws. There will you will be studying about the relation between the gaseous pressure, osmotic pressure. Sorry, gaseous. You will be studying about the gaseous pressure, partial pressure. Okay. Then there will be the atomic structure, where you will study about all the different theories of the atomic structure, and there are modern theories about the atomic structure and their numericals. Then there will be the periodic table, which will be, I mean, helpful for you to study about different properties of different groups and periods of the periodic table. Okay, then there will be the chemical kinetics, where we will be studying about the rate of reaction, and by this we will be figure out the there will be different things like rate constant and rate of and time of completion of the reaction. Okay, right. And then there will be redox reactions and chemical reactions. Here we'll be studying about different kind of reactions. In redox reaction specifically, there will be some things related to electrochemistry. Okay, and in case of stoichiometry, we will be balancing the reactions, and the stoichiometry will be helpful in both in redox reaction as well and in normal chemical reactions as well. Okay, and then there will be chemical equilibrium, which for which stoichiometry, I mean, for the reaction, stoichiometry is one of the most important. Okay, without stoichiometry you can't do any these three. Okay, and then there will be the acid and base. It will include the concepts like pH calculation, and pH calculation is one of the most important topic for the Imat examination, and you can find, I think, questions of these topics from like last 3 years. Okay, and then there will be the organic chemistry, and in organic chemistry you will be studying about the carbon bonding, different kind of bondings of the carbons. I mean, it will be specifically the covalent bonding, but like when will be it will be more stable. Okay, when it will be more favored, right? And you will be studying about the different sort of functional group, and how different kind of substance of carbon with the different functional groups are made. Okay, and you will be studying about the organic reactions, and then there will be the basic nomenclature, which is a very important topic for IMET. And for the physics examination, the important things will be the first one being the NLM, the Newton's laws of motion, and the basic kinematics and the force. I mean, it all these four things are very important, and then you will have to work on the vectors so that you can master these three and these four specifically. I mean, these are the very basic things for us. Okay, if you know this, then you will be able to do the circular motion. Okay, the fluid mechanics and the thermal physics and the oscillation, they will be very independent from these three. Okay, and then there will be the electrochemistry, which will require you to learn some portion of all these four. So these four: NLM, Newton's laws of motion, basic kinematics, force, work, power and energy, and vectors. These are the most important because they will help you to study about these ones. Okay. Then you'll have to study about current electricity, which will be a little bit dependent on electrostatics, but completely independent of all these chapters. Okay, and then there will be the magnetism. It is same dependent upon these five, and then there will be gravitation. It is common like electrostatics, but a little bit different and also dependent upon those other five basic chapters. Okay, and I think that's it from me. If you want any help, I will make another videos, and also I will be uploading some trial lectures so that you can have an idea that how I'll be teaching. Okay, so that's all from me. Bye bye, take care.